Kanto. Kanto is the birthplace of the Pokémon world and home to the original 151 Pokémon. It is based on Japan's real Kanto area. Its major cities like Celadon City and Saffron City are based on the city of Tokyo, while Vermilion City is based on Yokohama City. Kanto has introduced the Pokémon Red, Blue, or Green for those in Japan, and Yellow in Generation 1. Kanto's landscape is mostly forests and plains, with a large bay sitting in the middle that opens to a sea in the southwest. Several mountain ranges rise in the north and west of the region. The Indigo Plateau Mountain and the Victory Road Mountain Range form a natural border with the neighboring Johto region. Kanto is modern and technological. This may be reflected in the look of the cities and the buildings, such as the Silph Co., which is in Saffron City and is the company that developed the Master Ball. Cinnabar Island is also located in Kanto, and it is where Mr. Fuji discovered Mew deep in a jungle. And with the help of other scientists, he managed to gather some of Mew's DNA, which he used in his mansion to create a modified clone of it. Mr. Fuji wanted to create the most powerful Pokémon of all, and by doing this, they created the legendary Pokémon Mewtwo. However, Mewtwo later escapes, destroys the mansion, and hides away in Cerulean Cave. Kanto is home to 10 cities and towns, which are mostly named after colors, like Pallet Town, Viridian City, Pewter City, Cerulean City, Vermilion City, Lavender Town, Celadon City, Fuchsia City, Saffron City, and Cinnabar Island. The Kanto region includes 28 different routes, which act as roads to cities and towns or points of interest. Unlike other regions, Kanto features no extreme weather conditions, maintaining a temperate climate throughout. Route 28 actually belongs to both Kanto and Johto, enabling the two regions to share the same Pokémon League. Unlike other regions, the routes at Kanto don't have any sort of weather conditions, such as Hoenn's Route 119, which rains and thunders constantly, and Sinnoh's Route 217, in which hail regularly falls. The Kanto region seems to have the most temperate climate of the 9 main regions. The history of Kanto differs in 3 distinct accounts. In the first one, Professor Oak also gives his grandson Blue and also Red Leaf a Pokémon for their personal safety. He asks them to help him fill the Pokédex, and both travel across the Kanto region collecting all 8 gym badges. During their journey, Red came across Team Rocket, which was an evil organization behind the theft and illegal profit of Pokémon. Red stops Team Rocket and defeats Giovanni, who was their boss, as well as the gym leader of Viridian Gym, who then disbands Team Rocket. In the meantime, Blue, who has also collected all the Kanto gym badges, defeats the Elite Four at the Indigo League and becomes the champion of the Kanto region. Finally, Red also reaches the Indigo League and defeats Blue to gain the title of the new Indigo League champion. In the second history account, Chase/Elaine leaves Pallet Town on their Pokemon journey after their rival, Trace. After getting the 8 badges of Kanto and defeating Team Rocket with the help of Blue and Trace, along the way they then challenge Kanto's Elite Four and compete for the title of champion in one final battle with Trace. After defeating Trace, Chase becomes the champion. From there, they capture Mewtwo and meet Green, a trainer who had hoped to capture Mewtwo for herself. They also confront Archer, an admin of the remnants of Team Rocket, who challenges them to one last battle before swearing that he will avenge his boss Giovanni. And the third history account claims that after Ethan, Chris, Lyra had gathered all of Johto's gym badges, they traveled to the Pokemon League at Indigo Plateau in Kanto and defeated the Elite Four in their champion Lance. Afterwards, they gathered all gym badges in Kanto as well. Professor Oak declares them ready to travel to Mount Silver, where they met and challenged Red. Johto. Johto is the second region introduced in the Pokemon world. It is located just west of Kanto and was first featured in Pokemon Gold, Silver, and Crystal in Generation 2. It is based on Japan's real Kansai region and has a stronger focus on tradition, history, and rural landscapes rather than modern technology. Its geography consists mainly of low-lying, forested areas in the west, where most of the population resides. It has a large mountain range that dominates the eastern half and creates a natural border with Kanto. The region has abundant water to the west and south, and Cianwood City is likely situated on a separate landmass. Unlike Kanto's more urban environment, Johto has a rural environment throughout most of its territory. At the heart of Johto lies the ultra-modern Goldenrod City, which serves as the technological, industrial, and economic center of the region. Due to its central position, many smaller yet important cities and towns connect to Goldenrod. Deep within the mountains in the east is Blackthorn City, a unique settlement known for being home to dragon tamers. Johto Johto is steeped in rich history and mythology, with some of the oldest structures in the Pokémon world located within its borders. The ruins of Elf, dating back approximately 1500 years, were built by an ancient civilization that lived alongside the mysterious Hoenn Pokémon. Today, these ruins are a tourist attraction studied by scientists trying to uncover their secrets. The artifacts and puzzles found here are said to be connected to the summoning of Hoenn. Perhaps the most iconic historical landmarks in Johto are the two towers of Ecruteak City, the Bell Tower and the Burned Tower, built around 700 years ago. These 9-tier structures were created to foster friendship and hope between Pokémon and humans. The Bell Tower in the east was where Pokémon were said to rest, while the Brass Tower, now known as Burned Tower, in the west was believed to awaken Pokémon. These towers attracted many visitors until about 150 years ago, when lightning struck the western tower, engulfing it in flames that burned for 3 days before being extinguished by rain. The disaster claimed the lives of 3 unnamed Pokémon, which were later resurrected by Ho-Oh as the legendary beasts Entei, Raikou, and Suicune, embodying the fire, lightning, and rain involved in the incident. After this event, both Ho-Oh and Lugia, who had roosted in these towers, flew away and haven't returned to Ecruteak since. Another famous historical site is the Sprout Tower in Violet City, a wooden multi-story structure built around a massive central pillar that sways to protect the building from earthquakes. Legend claims this pillar was once a 100-foot-tall bellsprout. The tower serves as both a tourist attraction and a training ground for monks who study with their bellsprout to teach that all living beings coexist through cooperation. Johto features numerous natural caves and mountains, including Mount Mortar, Dark Cave, Ice Path, Union Cave, and the imposing Mount Silver on the eastern border with Kanto. Mount Mortar is particularly notorious for its confusing maze-like interior and the challenging waterfall cave within. Mount Silva houses many powerful Pokémon and serves as a training ground for the most skilled trainers. Ilex Forest, west of Azalea Town, is another natural landmark where the trees grow so densely that all light is blocked out, creating a perpetual night-like atmosphere. Modern attractions in Johto include the Goldenrod Radio Tower, which broadcasts popular programs like Professor Oak's Pokémon Talk, the Battle Frontier, the Pokeathlon Dome, and the Safari Zone. These recently built facilities provide entertainment for tourists and residents alike. The Lake of Rage is Johto's most famous aquatic landmark, rumored to have been a smoking crater before filling with rainwater. It gained notoriety for being home to the famous Red Gyarados. The Whirl Islands, located between Olivine and Cianwood City, form another significant water feature. These 4 islands are connected by underwater caverns and surrounded by dangerous whirlpools, with legends suggesting that a powerful legendary Pokémon resides at the heart of the caves. In terms of cities and towns, Johto features 10 main settlements, many named after plants or plant-related themes: New Bark Town, Cherry Grove City, Violet City, Azalea Town, Goldenrod City, Ecruteak City, Olivine City, Cianwood City, Mahogany Town, and Blackthorn City. The region has 20 different routes, continuing the numbering system from Kanto, starting at Route 29 and extending to Route 48. Some routes feature unique weather conditions, such as the constant rain on Route 33, though this wasn't depicted until Generation 4. The history of Johto follows the journey of Ethan Chris Lyra, who leaves New Bark Town on an errand for Professor Elm. During their adventure, a red-haired boy steals one of Elm's Pokémon and becomes their rival. Team Rocket, attempting to revive after their defeat in Kanto, enrages Gyarados at the Lake of Rage and takes over the Goldenrod Radio Tower in an attempt to contact their former leader, Giovanni. After Team Rocket's defeat and Giovanni's continued absence due to Celebi's intervention, the interim leader Archer vows to never reform the organization. Meanwhile, the protagonist collects all 8 gym badges of Johto and travels to the Indigo Plateau to challenge the Elite Four and the champion, eventually achieving victory and entering the Hall of Fame. Most significantly, they encounter the 3 legendary beasts and summon the long-absent Hoenn Lugia and Ho-Oh, beginning a new chapter in Johto's history. Hoenn. Hoenn is located south of Sinnoh and southwest of both Kanto and Johto. It made its debut in Pokémon Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald in Generation 3. Unlike the previous regions with city names based on colors or plants, Hoenn cities typically combine 2 words together, like Little Root, Fort Tree, and Slateport. The region is based on the real-world Japanese main island of Kyushu, but rotated 90 degrees counterclockwise. The name Hoenn signifies abundant relations in Japanese, reflecting a common theme in this region. Hoenn's most distinctive geographic feature is its abundance of water, which is not common, especially in Sinnoh. Almost half of the region is covered in water, with several large populated islands only accessible via water routes, many deep enough for diving. The mainland features diverse environments from rainforests to deserts, with most notable cities found along the coastline due to the mountainous and forested interiors. The region has a warmer climate than other regions, similar to the equatorial environment, suggesting that Hoenn may be located closer to the equator than other regions in the Pokemon world. Weather varies dramatically across the mainland, with ash constantly falling around Mount Chimney in the northwest, extreme sandstorms afflicting the central desert area, and frequent rain nourishing the northeastern rainforests and grasslands. Hoenn's prehistoric history is marked by conflict between powerful forces. At the beginning of the Pokemon world, Primal Kyogre and Primal Groudon formed from natural energy and proceeded to fill the sea and create land, while Rayquaza formed from minerals in the ozone layer. A chance encounter turned Kyogre and Groudon into rivals, igniting a conflict for dominance that continued until Rayquaza descended and forced them to retreat into caverns where they slumbered for many years. About 2,000 years before the events of Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, Hoenn suffered meteor showers that transformed the home of the Draconid people into meteor falls. The natural energy overflow awakened Primal Groudon and Primal Kyogre, who ravaged the earth until the Draconids summoned Rayquaza through a wish on a meteor. Following this event, the people began to revere Rayquaza as their savior. 1,000 years later, a former king of Kalos named AZ traveled to Hoenn and planted a tree near the Cave of Origin. When a primal energy-filled meteor struck the region, it created a massive crater where Sootopolis City would later be built, and once again awakened the slumbering ancient Pokemon. The people called upon Rayquaza, who performed the world's first Mega Evolution using a special meteorite, defeated Groudon and Kyogre, removed their primal states, and forced them back to sleep. Sky Pillar was subsequently built in Rayquaza's honor, and the Draconids pledged to pass down a prophecy that the meteor would return in 1,000 years. To prevent the reawakening of Kyogre and Groudon, the red and blue orbs were created and left at Mount Pyre for safekeeping. Just 40 years before the events of Ruby and Sapphire, a Lunatone was discovered at the site of a meteor strike in the region. In the contemporary history of Hoenn, Brendan/May moves to Little Root Town from Johto and saves Professor Birch from a wild Pokemon, receiving a starter Pokemon and a Pokédex as a reward. Throughout their journey across Hoenn, they encounter and defeat teams Aqua and Magma, who successfully awaken Groudon and/or Kyogre, causing the region to experience harsh sunlight, heavy rain, or a strange mixture of both. Brendan/May manages to calm the weather Pokemon either by defeating it or by summoning Rayquaza. They ultimately become the champion after defeating the Pokemon League. In the Delta episode from Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, a meteor changes course toward Hoenn after Brendan/May becomes champion. Zinnia steals key stones to summon Rayquaza in an attempt to destroy the meteor. At Sky Pillar, Brendan/May encounters Zinnia, who successfully summons Rayquaza but fails to trigger its Mega Evolution. Brendan/May feeds Rayquaza a meteorite, granting it the power to Mega Evolve, fly into space, and destroy the meteor. They also defeat the Deoxys found within the meteor remnants. Hoenn has 16 cities and towns. Most settlements are immersed in nature, with the largest being Lily Cove City in Ruby/Sapphire/Emerald, or Mauville City in Omega Ruby/Alpha Sapphire. The region has 34 different routes, numbered from 101 to 134, with an abundance of sea routes reflecting the half-water, half-land nature of the region, which is also a reference to the battle between Groudon and Kyogre. Some of Hoenn's population has adapted to its harsh environments in unique ways, such as the inhabitants of Fort Tree City, who live in tree houses. The region is famous for its tropical-like environments and introduced many new natural settings, including volcanoes, jungles, beaches, and deserts. Hoenn was also the first region to feature routes with varying weather conditions, including constant rainfall, thunderstorms, falling ash, and rays of sunlight, adding to its environmental diversity. Sinnoh. Sinnoh is located north of Kanto and Johto and Hoenn. It was formerly known as Hiswai and was introduced in Pokemon Diamond and Pearl in Generation 4. The region is based on the Japanese island of Hokkaido and parts of the Russian island Sakhalin. Sinnoh is divided by Mount Coronet, which cuts through the middle of the region. This division creates a distinct eastern and western side. This division affects even the Pokemon that live there, like Shellos and Gastrodon, who have different colors depending on which side of Mount Coronet they evolved on. The western half of Sinnoh features cities like Jubilife City, which is the region's largest and based on Sapporo, Oreburg City, known for its mines, and Canalave City, a port city. The eastern half includes Hearthome City with its super contest, Veilstone City with its department store, and Sunny Shore City with solar panel walkways. In the north is Snow Point City, which is constantly covered in snow. The Battle Zone, on an island to the northeast, has an active volcano called Stark Mountain. Sinnoh has three famous lakes, Lake Verity, Lake Valor, and Lake Acuity, which form a triangle across the region. Each lake is home to one of the lake guardians, Mesprit, Emotion, determination, Yuxi, knowledge, and Azelf, willpower. There is also a hidden fourth lake called Sendoff Spring, which connects to Turnback Cave and is said to be a portal to the distortion world where Giratina lives. According to myth, Arceus created the universe, starting with Mount Coronet, then the rest of Hisui, and finally the entire Pokemon world. The Celestica people, who originally came from the Sinnoh region, built the Temple of Sinnoh on Mount Coronet to honor Arceus. Later, the Diamond and Pearl clans arrived and began worshipping what they called Almighty Sinnoh, but disagreed about whether it created time or space. Sinnoh has diverse climates. The northern areas have constant snow, while the battle zone has areas with sandstorms. Despite having fewer water routes than Hoenn, Sinnoh has many rivers, wetlands, and lakes. The region has various energy sources, including the coal mines of Oreburg City, the Valley Windworks near Floroma Town, and Sunny Shore City's solar panels. Beneath Sinnoh is the Grand Underground, a network of tunnels where trainers can mine for treasures and find Pokemon not available on the surface. The history of Sinnoh involves Lucas/Dawn and their rival Barry setting out from Twin Leaf Town and receiving their first Pokemon from Professor Rowan. During their journey to collect 8 gym badges, both encountered Team Galactic, whose leader, Cyrus, plans to create a new universe using the power of Dialga and Palkia. At the Spear Pillar on Mount Coronet, Cyrus summons these legendary Pokemon, but is ultimately defeated. After this, the player challenges the Pokemon League, defeats the champion Cynthia, becoming the new champion of Sinnoh. Sinnoh offers unique locations like the Great Marsh, Eterna Forest with the mysterious Old Chateau, the Flower Paradise, and the battle facilities in the Battle Zone. Unova. Unova was introduced in Pokemon Black and White in Generation 5. The region is based on the New York metropolitan area in the United States, making it the first Pokemon region based on a non-Japanese location. Unova is divided by 2 rivers that flow into an ocean to the south, creating 3 main landmasses: the Central Peninsula, Eastern Peninsula, and Western landmass. These areas are connected by 5 bridges: Sky Arrow Bridge, Driftvale Drawbridge, Tubuline Bridge, Marvelous Bridge, and Village Bridge. The Sky Arrow Bridge, which connects Castelia City to Route 4, is modeled after the Brooklyn Bridge. The geography of Unova includes a mixture of urban and rural environments. Castelia City, based on Lower Manhattan, is one of the largest cities in the Pokemon world, with its massive skyscrapers and busy streets. To the north of Castelia lies a desert area, which is followed by Nimbasa City with its amusement park and sports stadiums. Other notable cities include Nakreen City, with its renovated warehouses that serve as homes and museums, Opelucid City, which appears either futuristic or traditional, and Icarus City, built around marshy wetlands. Unlike previous regions, Unova experiences full seasonal changes that affect the entire region. Spring, summer, autumn, and winter each last about 30 days and change the appearance of routes, the availability of certain Pokemon, and unlock different events. This makes Unova the first region where climate changes occur naturally rather than being limited to specific areas. According to mythology, Unova was created thousands of years ago by 2 heroes who used a single dragon Pokemon to unite the warring people of the land. However, the brothers eventually began to argue. The older sought truth, while the younger sought ideals, causing their dragon to split into Reshiram and Zekrom. Neither dragon could defeat the other, resulting in a stalemate. A third dragon, Kyurem, is said to have been created from the leftovers of the original dragon. Team Plasma serves as the villainous team in Unova. In Black and White, they claim to be fighting for Pokemon liberation under their King N, but are secretly being manipulated by Ghetsis, who plans to rule the world. N awakens their Zekrom in Black or Reshiram in White and battles the player at his castle, which rises from the ground to surround the Pokemon League. After N is defeated, Ghetsis reveals his true intentions, but is ultimately stopped by the player. In Black 2 and White 2, which take place 2 years later, a reformed Team Plasma under Ghetsis attempts to take over Unova by freezing cities with Kyurem's power. They are once again defeated by the player with N's help, who returns with the opposite dragon from the previous game. Unova introduced 156 new Pokemon, the most of any region at the time. Black and White were unique because players could only encounter new Pokemon during the main story, with familiar Pokemon from other regions becoming available only after defeating the Elite Four. This gave Unova a sense of discovery, similar to what players experience in the original games. The Pokemon League in Unova is located on a remote plateau that can only be reached by traversing Victory Road. After defeating the Elite Four, players face either Alder in Black and White or Iris in Black 2 and White 2. The gym leaders of Unova specialize in various types including Bug, Normal, Water, Electric, Grass, Rock, Flying, Ghost, ice, dragon, and poison. Unova is also mentioned as the home of Blueberry Academy, an underwater school that appears in the Indigo Disc DLC for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, showing that the region remained significant in the Pokemon world's ongoing story. Kalos. Kalos is the 6th core series region introduced to the Pokemon world and serves as the setting for Pokemon X and Y. Its name derives from the Greek word kalos, meaning beauty, a theme that perfectly represents this star-shaped region inspired by northern France. Kalos has a diverse landscape with a vast network of rivers and waterways flowing throughout. The north-central part houses one of its largest cities, Lumiose City, while the northeast has frigid mountain ranges extending down into plains. Western Kalos opens to a vast ocean where Galar City is located within a coastal cove. The region is divided into 3 sections: Central Kalos, with its forested plains and rivers; Coastal Kalos, which has rocky shores and lush beaches; and Mountain Kalos, that has cooler temperatures and snow-covered roads. Kalos has a rich historical background dating back 3,000 years when a devastating war broke out between Kalos and another region. This conflict led to the death of King AZ Pokemon Floet, thus driving the grief-stricken ruler to build a machine powered by infinity energy to resurrect his beloved Pokemon. Overcome with rage, AZ transformed this creation into the ultimate weapon, ending the war but killing countless humans and Pokemon in the process. Though both AZ and his Floet gained eternal life from this event, the horrified Floet abandoned him, leading AZ to wander the world in sorrow, while his brother buried the weapon beneath what would become Geosenge Town. 8 centuries before, the legendary Pokemon Xerneas released life energy through Kalos before entering hibernation in a forest. 3 centuries later, Parfum Palace was constructed by a king to demonstrate his power as a monument to human achievement that still stands in contemporary Kalos. In modern times, Callum and Serena begins their journey from Vannyville Town after receiving their first Pokemon and a Pokedex from Professor Sycamore's assistant. While traveling across Kalos collecting gym badges, they repeatedly confront Team Flare, which was an organization determined to create a beautiful and better world through questionable means. Team Flare's leader, Lysandre, ultimately revealed his plan to use the ancient ultimate weapon to eliminate all life except Team Flare members. After defeating Lysandre in multiple battles and capturing the legendary Pokemon Xerneas, or Veltal, and agreeing with him, Lysandre activates the weapon anyway. However, the blast destroys the weapon itself, burying Lysandre and the Team Flare headquarters. They then proceed to defeat the Elite Four and champion Diantha to become the new Kalos champion. Kalos is home to 16 cities and towns, including the Grand Lumiose City with its iconic Prism Tower, the historically significant Geosenge Town, the Galar City with its Tower of Mastery, where the secrets of Mega Evolution are kept. The region contains 22 routes which, like Unova, restart their numbering from Route 1. With a population of 1,288 residents, Kalos stands as the most densely populated region in the Pokemon world. Its urban development reflects French architecture and culture, with cafes dotting Lumiose City and ancient chateaus scattered throughout central Kalos. Alola. Alola is the setting of Pokemon Sun, Moon, Ultra Sun, and Ultra Moon. It's based on Hawaii's real Hawaiian islands. Its major islands are Melomele Island, based on Oahu; Akala Island, based on Maui; Aluula Island, based on the Big Island of Hawaii; and Pony Island, based on Kauai. Alola was introduced in Pokemon Sun and Moon in Generation 7. Alola's landscape consists of 4 main islands and 1 artificial island called Aether Paradise in the center. Each island has its own unique terrain, with Melomele Island featuring gentle slopes, Akala Island having an active volcano in Wella Volcano Park, Ulaula Island containing various terrains from mountains to desert, and Pony Island being mostly mountainous with the sprawling vast Pony Canyon. The islands are separated by water, allowing travel between them via boat, Charizard Glide, or Mantine Surf. Alola is tropical and culturally rich. This is reflected in the close relationship between humans and Pokemon, as well as the unique traditions like the Island Challenge instead of gym battles. The Aether Foundation, which is headquartered at Aether Paradise, is a conservation organization that protects Pokemon. Alola is also where Ultra Wormholes occasionally appear, causing Ultra Beasts to enter the region. Hundreds of years ago, pieces of Necrozma's body rained down on Alola, giving origin to the Z Crystals and Z Rings that enable Z moves. Alola is home to various settlements across its islands, including Hau'oli City on Melomele Island, Hihi City on Akala Island, Mali City on Ulaula Island, and Seafolk Village on Pony Island. The Alola region includes 17 different routes, though there are many other locations named differently, such as Akala Outskirts or Pony Grove. Unlike Kanto, Alola features diverse weather conditions, from thriving rainforests on Akala Island to snowy peaks on Mount Lanakila. Executor Island is known to have common rain showers, which often result in either rainbows during the day or meteor showers at night when the rain clears. The history of Alola Alola differs between Sun and Moon, and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. In Pokemon Sun and Moon, Elio/Celine begin their adventure after meeting Professor Kukwai and receiving their first partner Pokemon. They undertake the Island Challenge while encountering Team Skull and the Aether Foundation. When Lily is kidnapped by Team Skull, they travel to Aether Paradise and discover that Lusamine, the Foundation's president and Lily's mother, has opened Ultra wormholes across Alola and entered one with Guzma. Elio/Celine and Lily evolve Nebby into Solgaleo/Lunala and travel into Ultra Space to rescue them. After becoming the first champion of Alola, they're contacted by the International Police to investigate Ultra Beasts unleashed across the region. In the Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon version, a similar story unfolds, but with the addition of the Ultra Recon Squad. After defeating Guzma and learning of Lily's kidnapping, Elio/Celine travels to Aether Paradise, where Lusamine opens an Ultra wormhole to stop Necrozma. When Necrozma captures Nebby and steals Alola's light, they travel to Ultra Megalopolis to defeat Ultra Necrozma and restore light to Alola. Later, they confront Team Rainbow Rocket at Aether Paradise, defeating villainous team leaders from alternate timelines, before ultimately confronting Giovanni, who leaves but hints at future plans. Galar. Galar is the setting of Pokemon Sword and Shield. It is based on the United Kingdom, specifically Great Britain. Its major cities include Windon, based on London, Motostoke, based on Manchester, and Hammerlock, based on medieval castles and cities in Britain. Galar was introduced in Pokemon Sword and Shield in Generation 8. Galar's landscape is expansive with varied environments, including idyllic countrysides, contemporary cities, and snow-covered mountains. The region comprises a long mainland area and an outlying island area called the Isle of Armor. In the extreme south lies the Crown Tundra, isolated from the rest of the mainland by tall mountain ranges extending north along both coasts. The middle of Galar features long stretches of plains dotted with hills, while the northwest contains the Glimwood Tangle, a thick and gloomy forest. To the east of this forest lies a broad tundra that includes Circhester City and mountain ranges separating the metropolis of Windon from the rest of Galar. Galar is modern and heavily focused on Pokemon battles as entertainment. This is reflected in the Gym Challenge, which is treated like a professional sports league with massive stadiums and broadcasts. The region is powered by Dynamax energy, which allows Pokemon to grow to enormous sizes and gain tremendous power. This energy comes from Eternatus, a legendary Pokemon that fell to Galar in a meteorite 20,000 years ago. The pieces of Eternatus' body scattered across the region gave origin to Wishing Pieces and Wishing Stars, which power the Dynamax bands. Galar is home to 12 cities and towns, including Postwick, Wedgehurst, Motostoke, Turffield, Hulberry, Stow-on-Side, Ballinlea, Circhester, Spikemuth, Hammerlock, Windon, and Freezingtown in the Crown Tundra. The Galar region includes 10 routes in total, all on the mainland, divided into 4 groups. Unlike most other regions, it's impossible to travel through Galar using just these routes. Instead, a train system connects different cities and towns. Galar also features an extensive area called the Wild Area, which adjoins several towns and cities, and features dynamic weather conditions ranging from harsh sunlight to snowstorms. The history of Galar centers around the Darkest Day event. 3,000 years prior to the games, Eternatus awakened for the first time, causing a black storm to spread across Galar. 2 humans and legendary heroes, Zacian and Zamazenta, stopped Eternatus, resulting in the humans being crowned as kings of the region. In Pokemon Sword and Shield, Victor/Gloria and their friend Hop receive their first partner Pokemon from Leon, the undefeated champion and Hop's brother. They journey across Galar, challenging gyms to earn 8 badges to enter the Champion Cup. During their journey, they encounter Team Yell, who support Marnie in the Gym Challenge, and Macrocosmos led by Chairman Rose. During the championship match, Rose reawakens Eternatus to provide energy for Galar, bringing about another Darkest Day. Victor/Gloria and Hop obtain the Rusted Sword and Rusted Shield to summon Zacian and Zamazenta, defeat Eternatus, and capture it. Victor/Gloria then defeats Leon to become the new champion of Galar. In the Isle of Armor, Victor/Gloria becomes an apprentice at the Master Dojo run by former champion Mustard and receives a Kubfu that eventually evolves into Urshifu. In the Crown Tundra, they explore legends with Peony, encountering Calyrex, the king of bountiful harvests, and helping it reunite with its steed, Glastrier or Spectrier. They also discover legendary giants and Galarian forms of legendary birds, and participate in Dynamax adventures in the Max Lair. Paldea. Paldea is the 9th major region in the Pokemon world, and serves as the setting for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. It is based on the Iberian Peninsula, primarily taking inspiration from Spain's culture, architecture, and landscapes, with some Portuguese influences in western areas. This is reflected in the region's naming conventions, architecture, food, music, and the occasional Spanish phrases used by local inhabitants. Paldea's geography breaks from tradition by not using conventional routes. Instead, the region is divided into 4 provinces: south, east, west, and north. Each province has its own distinctive features and settlements. At the center of the region lies the Great Crater of Paldea, a mysterious area hiding the enigmatic Area Zero beneath it. The South Province contains grassy plains and the region's largest city, Messagoza. The East Province is known for its striking skyline in Levincia. The West Province features the Asado Desert and Porto Marinada, while the North Province is dominated by the snowy Glacido Mountains, the tallest peak in the region. Paldea has a rich history dating back millions of years. About 2,000 years ago, the Paldean Empire ruled the region and began the Great Age of Exploration, sending expeditions into the Great Crater to search for rumored treasures. The empire declined around 1,000 years ago due to the expense of these failed expeditions. Modern Paldea was established approximately 800 years ago when the empire unified with neighboring countries. Around 140 years ago, the terrestrial phenomenon was discovered in Area Zero, and about 87 years ago, a research facility was built there. Education plays an important role in Paldean culture, with Naranja Academy or Yuva Academy, depending on the game version, serving as a central institution. Founded 805 years ago in Messagoza, these academies are where many trainers begin their journey. Unlike other regions, Paldea's Pokemon League doesn't require gyms to be challenged in any specific order, allowing trainers to forge their own path. One of Paldea's unique features is the terrestrial phenomenon, which allows Pokemon to crystallize and potentially change their type. This ability was researched by Professor Seda or Professor Turo, who discovered that energy from Area Zero's crystals causes this transformation. They also developed the Terra Orb technology that trainers use to trigger terrestrialization in battle. The region is also home to Team Star, a group formed following a bullying incident at the academy. Unlike typical villainous teams, Team Star has a more complex backstory related to their leader, Cassiopeia's attempt to fight against bullying. Another distinctive aspect of Paldea is the presence of paradox Pokemon, creatures from either the past or future brought through a time machine created by the professors. These include Koraidon and Miraidon, which serve as the player's main transportation throughout the region. Paldea represents a significant evolution in the Pokemon series, with its open world design that allows players unprecedented freedom to explore diverse landscapes and chart their own adventure through this culturally rich region.